Somebody call the Academy. We got ourselves a winner. What is up, flick fans? Welcome back to my channel. We're talking Tar, the brand new Cate Blanchett film. Oh my god, we have a lot to talk about. Let me know your thoughts down below. And set in the international world of Western classical music, the film centers around Lydia Tár, widely considered one of the greatest living composer-conductors and first ever female music director of a major German orchestra. This movie is rated R for some language and very brief nudity. It's directed by Todd Field, and it stars, well, several individuals from Nina Haas. Mark Strong is in there, but Cate Blanchett is our main character. Cate Blanchett is the focus. Cate Blanchett is going to get an Oscar nomination, and at this point, it is one of the best performances. I mean, I just watched the movie today. Should I say it's the best performance I've seen this year? It's in the conversation. She's absolutely incredible in this movie. She commands the screen. She commands the orchestra. It's a film that I was, hearing comparisons before going in. It's like it's a different version of Whiplash. We had I could see the comparisons going into the movie, but this is very different from a story standpoint, from a structure standpoint. The filmmaking here, the way it follows our character from point A all the way to point B at the end of the movie, going from this smooth and composed style of filmmaking to more frantic, and it felt like the director was being a loose cannon with the filmmaking at the end, but that's the exact type of filmmaking that we needed at that point, just because of the character arc in general. And this is a tough movie to talk about without deep diving into spoilers, just because the path that this character is on in this movie is not revealed to us until about 45 minutes to an hour in. And even then, I was still curious where it was going. You get subtle hints all throughout as to what is going on kind of behind the scenes with this character. And when I say behind the scenes, I mean even from us. Because what she's dealing with at the end of the film, we don't really see come to pass. We get very brief moments where we can start to draw conclusions. And I love the decision of this movie, of this director in general, not making everything too easy for the viewer, not just giving it all to us at the beginning of the film saying, here you go, here's what this movie's about, take off. They didn't do that. They make us work in this movie. They make us work for what's really going on with her. The themes are there, but you have to kind of deconstruct them as we go. And a lot is being said without the movie itself saying it, but there is still so much dialogue there between Cate Blanchett and other characters, and hints and sparks of certain relationships that she's making and relationships that she is, unmaking, because being in a position of power like her, she has to make some tough decisions. Not only being in charge of this massive orchestra, but also being a professor, being a teacher, right? There's so many different things that she's doing, and she is beloved by so many people because she's one of the best in her craft. She's worked so hard to get here, but she's also made some mistakes along the way. And as the movie goes, as we progress, we start to realize that we're in for something even drastically different from what I expected an hour into the movie. It kept me on my toes the entire time. Now, I will say this, when the movie started, we get opening credits, and the credits take place before the movie actually begins. There is music behind the credits. There is no score with this movie. I mean, there's music in the film, obviously, and that's a big focus, diving into the works of these classical composers, but also looking at the perspective of really young individuals in today's age using an iPhone and not doing the research that needs to be done for being in this field and aspiring to be on the level that Lydia Tár is on. There's so many things that go into what other characters are feeling in this movie, but you're always seeing it from her perspective. You're always understanding that there are demons there with her, but it's up for the movie to uncover, what those demons actually are. And I really did. I was blown away by the path that this movie set me on as a viewer, because again, it's a slow start. And I don't want to say it's a rough start, it's just a really slow start. We get long, drawn-out conversations, one where she's on stage, the other with Mark Strong, and that took up the first 25 minutes of the movie, and I'm thinking to myself, this can't be all there is. I mean, it's interesting. It's interesting enough, but is it just gonna be this kind of dialogue throughout the entire film? Thankfully, it's not. Thankfully, Tar kind of deconstructs the ideas that it's attempting to bring us at the beginning and uses effective filmmaking and filmmaking techniques to do it. Ideas that may require a little bit more of an explanation than what we actually get. And when the movie ends, there are some things still left up in the air. Like, what is the truth behind certain scenes, and what did that actually mean? And that's going to bother a lot of people, because the movie ends and you're sitting there thinking to yourself, well, I want more. I want more from this character. I want more from this world. I want to see what happens next. But it's not the kind of ending that's going to have you scoffing at the end of the day. It's the kind of ending that feels satisfying, not only because you get 2 hours and 40 minutes of build-up, it's a long film, but you also get a beautiful character study. And that's what this film is. It's an effective and authentic character study that doesn't have to go overboard with handing you everything you need to know, everything you need to see, and chooses to not show us a lot of it. But we still have 2 hours and 40 minutes to film. And a lot of that is being with her while she's struggling with certain things, and that's an effective movie in my opinion, man. There are so many things that I want to say that I can't, but just know that you're in for an awesome character study with this film. Beautiful filmmaking, and the scenes where she's leading the orchestra and the music kicks in, and you go from kind of that silence to something grand. See it in a big theater with a lot of speakers, because it's worth it. But I'm going to shut up. Before I give you guys my score, thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to drop that like down below and let me know what Oscar nominations is TÁR going to get. I do think some moments are a bit lengthy. We could have tightened up a handful of scenes, and the first 15 to 20 minutes, I didn't necessarily know where we were going, but as we got further and further into this story, and it was essentially carried by Cate Blanchett, who again deserves the recognition, deserves an Oscar nomination. She is amazing in this role. It's one of the best roles of her career, absolutely. Words don't need to be said about what she does in this film, because she is just, it's a whole nother ball game in this movie. It really is. TÁR is not only an effective character study, but the film will keep viewers on their toes throughout. The script is beautifully written, the filmmaking is gorgeous, and the story is authentic. This is one of the better movies I've seen this year. I'm going an 88% with my score. Let me know your thoughts and comments down below. It's definitely a movie, again, you want to see on the big screen, and you want to see as soon as possible, so the actual story points don't come up in conversation, because they sure did surprise me. And no, I didn't spoil the movie. I tiptoed around everything. Trust me. Thanks again for watching. See you soon.